All right, what is up, YouTube? I'm Cool40 here. We are here with.
What's good, YouTube?
All right, so me and John we're gonna have a relatively quick discussion on Vrains Pack 3. There's a lot of stuff in this set, and you've heard me and John both rattling on an infinite videos. Now you get to listen to us go together, right?
Oh yeah.
All right, so we're gonna start off with Union Carrier. Tell me about this thing, John. Why do you like this card?
Basically, it breaks the game into a way that we haven't gone before, where we're quote-unquote searching the deck, but for Union, so you're putting monsters just straight to the back row from deck, and anytime you get something that goes into that kind of a zone where we haven't had this before, you're going to break the game a bit, and we're already seeing kind of ridiculous loops with Buster Blader card. Like, people are just, like, finding ways to break the game already, and it's super interesting.
I think the Buster Blader one's probably going to be the one to see the most play, though, because especially if Orcus doesn't get hit by the time we get this, you can just, go Dark Attribute, drop it on an Orcus monster, right?
Well, my thing with that is Konami's pretty much done selling Orcas. Think about it. Everything's commons, then Girsu's the last card, and it's somewhat generic. So, like, Konami can start slapping Orcas around directly on the list, in my opinion. They don't have any money to make off of it. They've done the foil reprints, even.
Yep, that is very true. So, I mean, by the time we probably get this, we'll see some sort of potential hit to the current Dark archetype. But, that's not to say, not in the future that we couldn't see, like, a restriction put on the Buster Blader card, or they just outright ban it, worst case scenario, right?
Yeah, the followers of Tahan really like this card as well.
Oh, I figured. I feel bad for Buster Blader players, though.
Why is that?
Because one of their cards is now on the potential ban list. What?
Incidental hits are always part of ban lists.
Right, Trickster players?
Oh, yeah.
Any final thoughts on Union Carrier, though, John?
I think it's exciting, the direction it's going, but I also did wish that it had some kind of union effect for itself that was ridiculous. But I guess we don't need to give every monster, like, 5 ridiculous effects in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh!
I mean, giving a monster an extra power boost for being equipped is pretty good.
Yeah.
Alright, next up, we have the Extra Hero Hell Divisor. What are your first initial thoughts on this card?
So my initial thoughts were that it was insanely busted, but then as you break it down, what it can actually search versus what your deck already does in terms of the resource game that it offers with the first effect, well, it's not actually that good because you end up running bricks for it. So the community was really still divided on this, like it's an insane amount of advantage, you're doing cool things, you have new heroes that are focused on Miracle Fusion in the battle phase coming out in Legendary Duels, yet here you still end up in this divided region of Neos players are super happy now that they have this.
But you can search Bubble Man.
Oh, Bubble Man's been replaced, haven't you heard?
Yeah, by my boy Liquid Man. But that's neither here nor there.
Go ahead.
No, go.
The Neos players are super excited, but the meta players seem not so excited about this.
I mean, yeah, if it just let you add anything listed on the hero monster, it would have been good, but hey, it's another extra hero that we can play, right?
It's true. I thought initially also on reveal, like, I thought it was Destiny and Hero Dragoon or something, but it's just Destiny and Dragoon, so you can't even use it for, like, a plasma search, so you can go somewhere else in the route of hero plays and get something else, like, not have to search plasma later.
Well, yikes. Alright, so this card's not that good.
Yeah.
It's good for Neos. That's good enough, right?
That's something.
Alright, so this Ancient Gear Ballistic Shooter guy has caused so many buyouts in the Ancient Gear cards. Do you actually think this is going to be worth it, though?
I don't think that the people spending the money now, it's worth it, but it's definitely making people who already had Ancient Gear stuff very, very happy.
Oh yeah, this was like the high risk, high reward. Like, imagine if they dropped a Blue Eyes link in here. Like, all those Blue Eyes cards will just shoot up in value. Like,
they sure could use a Link 1 in Blue Eyes, oh my gosh.
Someday. But Ballistic Shooter, it kind of falls short for its archetype. Like, I don't know. Thoughts?
So committing the 2 monsters is a little bit much to me. It's at this point where after you commit those 2 monsters, you're going to get 1 effect and then hopefully generate 2 more monsters out of it by killing the spell and getting the other monster out too.
Well, you only get 1 arrow out of it too, which is kind of bleh. You know?
Yeah, but do Ancient Gears really need more than that 1 as they continue up the line?
I mean, can I drop double ultimate pound on the field with that deck?
Summon big monsters. Yeah, you can drop double ultimate pound depending.
It seems really bad though.
Yeah, I think it does enough, but they really held back on Link's Vrains Pack 3. You can tell they didn't want a repeat of 1. They put more and more restrictions on everything.
Yep.
And even with 2, I guess it made too much of a splash with the BLS Link. So you can tell they're just all the more careful with their wording and restrictions on almost every card except for Union Hanger. And even that had the restriction. You can't link up the Union Hanger. So they were careful with every single card.
The last chunk of stuff that we had come out was the big reveals this weekend. We'll kind of go through these, kind of give some initial thoughts here, but I still think that Mecha Phantom Beast Union Monster is really good.
It's hard to continue up the line, though, since it cuts you off from Link summoning.
But the cool thing is you can make a synchro. Alright.
That's kind of the word there, asynchro. So you're going to have to figure out ways to do multiple synchro summons under your 2 arrows there.
You can't even make a Borreload Savage, because aren't they literally 310? Because, yeah, you can't even make a Borreload Savage in the deck, because they all gain +3 levels for the tokens.
Yeah.
Right? Ugh. Alright, never mind. I don't know, the card's good support for, Mecha Phantom Beast.
Oh, let me correct you. The correct way to address Mecha Phantom Beast is MPBs. You are an MPB player if you are a refined Mecha Phantom Beast player, Robbie.
Oh my gosh.
I've had this whole speech in my comment section from this duelist that got an invite at a regional, and he would somebody else came in with the MPB talk too. Though it's a recognized community. It's out there somewhere. They're probably in your comment section right now.
All right, so this Abyss Actor Link 1 is really good, is it not?
Yeah, it is. It's nice. This was a really good addition for a very specific kind. Abyss Actors have always been really underestimated. One of my roommates, Jackie, definitely took them to a different direction than people would have thought initially with Metal Foes, but I really respect them.
The only thing I wish we would have gotten would have been a way to interact with the traps that we play. A little bit easier, but, I think I can live without that,
Yeah, this is definitely one of the more uptick cards out of Link Vrains Pack, but still, I don't know that it does enough to bring them back to the forefront.
Oh, definitely. Well, only being a Link 1, too. And then the Sky Striker monster. I think we both said this, but out-resourcing your opponent, finding easier ways, popping that dead Metal Foes fusion that you draw, is really good, is it not?
Yeah, also just being able to have something to go up into off of your Widow Anchor offensively, take care of another monster offensively, and then link back down into your Link 1s is insane for this card.
Yeah, it's definitely something that we've needed.
It's options for Striker, but do keep in mind we have a no sooner than before, and anybody that's saying this card existing and Rose existing stops it from getting hit on our FNL list further, there's a little screw loose. Konami's going to do what Konami wants to do, and if it continues to win events, Konami will do something, but it's not topping at a toxic rate. It's topping in a really good amount, so as long as Striker keeps coming close and doesn't take win after win after win, Konami will probably lessen up on the hits.
The Tenyi boss monster was really cute for Tenyi. Do you not agree?
Yeah, cute's the unfortunate word, though, isn't it?
I mean, hey, Yangzing got a Link monster, technically.
Oh, man. I'm still PTSD from Danelong over here.
Hey, man, you know what? It's just like Blackwing's got a Link monster called Raid Raptor. Oh, wait, they don't have that yet in the TCG.
Yeah, the big part of this whole discussion is when will we actually get these? What will Konami use to sell their sets? And honestly, these aren't blow-away hits like the past Link Vrains pack, so Konami withholding these from us is actually going to be more ridiculous than any of the other Link Vrains packs.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Any real thoughts on the artifact, Link?
I think it is highly, highly underestimated by the community. The moment we saw it on YouTube versus Facebook, almost every single pro Yu-Gi-Oh duelist I saw said, this is insane, this is broken, this is crazy. And I saw a lot of people on YouTube, Reddit, etc. saying, this isn't a big deal, you're overblowing it. No, this is a pretty big deal. I've already seen memes of this versus Lightning Storm of, oh, you're coming closer, I can't activate my Call by the Grave on your artifacts if I don't activate my Lightning Storm. Oh, then come as close as you like. Like, all this amazing stuff has come out from this card, and the community is divided, but the pros seem pretty sure that this is a good one.
Oh yeah, definitely. This card will interact with the competitive scene for a while. Like, any card that can interact with Scythe and Lancia on a good level seems really good. Right?
Yeah, to ignore how big Lancia has become, and Konami acknowledging with the multiple reprints of it, like, I just can't imagine. Like, you have full turn floodgates within your artifacts. This is something to take note of.
Herald of Mirage. So we've
Do
seen...
you like how these back-to-back are both two light fairy monsters?
Yeah, actually. The difference here is one's a little bit more generic than the other. Tokens. But how do you feel about every deck getting to negate now for having fairies in their deck?
I think Eva is something I'd keep an eye on, because getting like 4 freaking resources out of like a negation then this going is insane. And I also like that if it's sent to the graveyard by an opponent, at least, is the restriction, because Herald's one of those decks that survives through times and finds ways to come back throughout formats. Like, golly.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. The last thing, we're gonna skip over the Simorgh.
Really? You
No,
don't buy
we can talk about the Simorgh here. So I can summon the barrier statue from the deck.
That's true. That's one of your old friendos.
What else can we do with this thing?
You can more easily and accessibly do the anti-spell lock.
Oh yeah, because the whole Dark Simorgh thing.
Yeah.
Is that about it?
That's what people are freaking out over. I don't think it's the biggest deal, but it is cool to be able to summon pretty much what you want and have a plethora of options.
I agree with that. And then the last one here, the Yuki-Onna Link 4 for zombies. What'd you think about this thing?
I think people highly underestimate how many things the Mayakashis can spit up on the field.
Yeah. And plus,
so it being a Link 4 isn't the biggest problem for that deck, and their recursion is on another level. But I don't know. I really don't know how I feel about this one.
It says zombie, so we care about that. Like, we've needed this Link Vrains pack aimed to close the gap on a lot of boss monsters, it feels. Like the Tenyi, Yuki-Onna here. Final thoughts on this set, though, John?
It's really underwhelming compared to the past ones, but the past ones were a mad rush to bring Link summoning forward so that people could play their decks that had been stymied by Link summoning happening, and the kind of bottleneck that happened of us playing very, very few decks. So I respect the fact that they're not just printing madness out anymore, but I still would like an impact, especially if we're going to be waiting on these cards and not getting them as a set in the TCG.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. Alright, guys. We're going to wrap up our little discussion here. Thanks, John, for being here.
Well, thank you for having me.
You guys make sure, if you haven't checked out the House of Champs.
Ooh.
It's always a pleasure, John. Alright, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. We'll do more of these in the future. Peace out.
Of course.
The ride never, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a Truffle Shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out VanCole40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.